Hey guys, this is EWS Sports Podcasting. This is Daniel. I'm Jake here with our Heisman analyst Matt, and we will first be previewing the Army-Navy game. So, Daniel?
Yeah, this is our only college football game this week.
Yeah.
Matthew, you want to start?
Well, when I look at Army and Navy, Navy's gonna win. That's basically all I can say. It's gonna be a beatdown. It's gonna be ugly.
I agree.
Yeah, so much respect for both of them, two military schools, but Navy's going to come out with it. They're going to a bowl game, Army's not, and I think this will boost their confidence going into bowl season.
So now we're going to go do our Heisman, the finals. Finalists are out, 6.
Yeah.
What are y'all's thoughts on the announcement? Any surprises?
Well, I was a little surprised to not see Braxton Miller
Me too.
in it. I know he was hurt and the backup quarterback came back, and truthfully, I think because he played fantastic, maybe you could make a case that Braxton Miller is only good because of the system that he's in at Ohio State. But that was really the only shocker I saw. Whenever you have 6 Heisman finalists, you know that everyone had to fight their way into that.
What about Carlos Hyde?
Carlos Hyde, I think, is a top 5 running back in college right now.
Top 3 probably.
Top 3 probably behind Trey Mason and Andre Williams.
Yeah.
But, I just would have liked to see a hotter start right out of the gate for him.
Well, just remember that he was suspended for the first couple games.
Yeah, and another
versus Sean.
thing
Yeah, that did.
to consider when picking a Heisman finalist is their character. Because we're picking the best person in college football, not just on the field, but also off the field at the same time.
Yeah, so let's start with all of our number 6s.
First, I want to say something. I thought they really left out Carr from the Heisman. Considering he had more than 400 passing yards and number 2 in the country in yards, he led the nation in passing yards and touchdowns. He got left out of this.
Well, I mean, you had to put someone in from a non-BCS conference, and that was Jordan Lynch. He's been outstanding both through the air and on the ground, so I think they did the right thing.
Matthew, who's your number 6?
Well, right now, my number 6 is going to have to be A.J. McCarron.
Agreed.
Yeah.
He does everything right, but sometimes that's not enough. I know he's playing in the SEC, and he's basically flawless, but nothing really pops off the screen for me.
Yeah, his stats just haven't been there this year. I mean, just over 2,500 passing yards on the season. I mean, 26 TDs. Those are not stats compared to the other Heisman quarterbacks.
Yeah, the fewest yards among the other Heisman quarterbacks is 4,000, about 4,000 for Winston. He has over 2,600, but they're significantly less yards and touchdowns.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so who's your number 5?
My number 5 is Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel is having another stellar season.
He is. He just has to watch his interceptions.
It's not even it's the interceptions, but also I think he's gotten a little lucky too. It was one game, I think it might have been against Alabama, I'm not sure. He ran maybe 20 yards back, just flew it up there, and Mike Evans goes and gets it.
Mike Evans has been a big part of this.
I think without his wide receivers that he has right now, he wouldn't be as good.
Agreed.
So, my number 5 is Trey Mason. I think he has.
Wow.
I gotta put Andre Williams ahead of him. But Mason's been so explosive lately, that's pushed him into the highest
Why do you put
rankings.
Mason ahead?
Why do I put Williams
why do
ahead?
you put Williams ahead? Yeah.
He has more rushing yards. He's been more consistent. I gotta put Williams ahead of him, but Mason's been great, and it's been the last stretch that got him in there.
Well, just consider that even through playing in the SEC with great defenses, Mason's gotten more total yards and more total TDs.
It came from the last 2 games. He's great. He's great. Don't get me wrong.
And another thing to look at is Andre Williams actually has the most carries in all of college football.
It's a good stat.
Yeah. So for I think we all have, do you have Andre Williams?
I have Andre Williams.
Yes, so do I. Who do you have?
At number 4, I have Johnny Manziel. His passing yards are great, but his rushing yards are not there. Well, they're great, but they're not as good as last season, and 13 interceptions.
Yeah, I mean, he has great stats, don't get me wrong, but those interceptions will kill him. And I think he would have won. I think A&M had a better defense. They would have a much better record.
Oh,
A much
yeah.
better record would definitely get him further up. So I think if A&M had a better defense, he would make a repeat.
And the reason I put Andre Williams is because, again, he has the most carries in football. But a big thing to think about is how they deal with what they're given. He's taken advantage of all those carries, but say that Trey Mason had all those carries, maybe he would be number 1 right now.
Yeah, maybe.
And also, Boston College hasn't had the most impressive season,
Yeah.
so that's another thing.
That's a
Yeah.
setback.
With the Heisman, you also have to look at how the teams have done, also how the players have contributed, and I mean, Andre Williams he's contributed to Boston College, but their record's not showing it.
Definitely.
Yeah, so 3,
Jordan Lynch,
definitely.
no
Jordan
question.
Lynch.
3, I have Williams. Y'all took the
Wow.
words out of my mouth. He's the only running back with over 2,000 yards. That's why he's up there for me. So 5 games over 200 rushing yards. He's been great.
Well, Jordan Lynch is the best offensive player in the game right now. He has the most rushing yards for a QB in the FBS. He has a good amount of passing yards with 2,676. But he also is just absolutely outstanding on the ground. What this guy can do, even in the MAC, he's just outstanding.
And I think if maybe he went to a little better school and he still put up these numbers, he would.
Come on, Matt. You're thinking about it this way.
Well, here's the thing. I think his stats wouldn't be as good, but when I watch Jordan Lynch play, there's something special that you can see there.
This guy can flat out run the ball.
And throw the ball at the same time.
Yeah, you can throw the ball too. Number 2, I have Jordan Lynch. He's number 2 in the nation in rushing yards. It's truly incredible when a quarterback's number 2 in the nation in rushing yards. He has more rushing yards than Trey Mason. I mean, come on, you put Mason up there.
Mason's number 2.
And I'm
Yeah,
going to ask you a
don't tell me
question,
Mason's
and I
average.
need you to be completely honest with me. Before Jordan Lynch's season this year, have you heard of NIU before? Have
Last
you
season
heard?
they made
Last
BCS
season they
Bowl.
made.
Okay.
So
What,
it'd be-
what he's been
let's-
able to do for this program.
Before he was there, no, I did not know about that school.
Exactly, but look at the competition they're playing with. I think.
He brought them up to the BCS
He did.
standard.
But if you put Johnny Manziel in his position, he might end up with 60 or 70 touchdowns a year.
60 or 70 touchdowns. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, that's a bold statement.
He might have 4,000 yards on the ground. It's possible.
Okay,
But,
so who's y'all's number 2?
Number 2, Trey Mason.
Trey Mason, definitely.
Definitely.
You know,
I mean,
he hasn't had as many
what
carries.
he did versus Missouri, who has a good defense, 304 yards on the ground.
He's just setting
Yeah.
records everywhere.
This guy's outstanding. And
He
by the
is
way,
not going to be stopped.
congratulations to his coach, Gus Malzone, for winning the Coach of the Year award.
He has less rushing
Yeah.
yards than Jordan Lynch, a quarterback. Just putting that out there.
Yes, but he also
Well,
plays in
he's
the
in the
SEC.
SEC, Daniel.
Okay. At number 1, Jameis Winston.
I think that's agreeable
Yeah.
between all of us. The only thing that may knock him down, which it won't, trust me, is the fact that he's playing in the SEC, or no, the ACC.
Yeah, that
The
I agree.
ACC. If you're playing Duke in a bowl game, who's not exactly the biggest football school,
Yeah.
that kind of says something about the competition you're
In
playing
the
in.
in the ACC championship, yeah.
It's,
Well,
but regardless, what he's done has been
Mhm.
phenomenal. The one thing that you can really realize from
positive
this
attitude.
season's FSU from last season's, both had terrific mobile quarterbacks, okay?
Yep.
But this year, I have seen the FSU quarterbacks go off the charts.
Mhm.
I'm not saying EJ Manuel wasn't good, but Jameis Winston makes others around him better, which is a
I
big
agree
key.
with that statement.
He is winning by a long shot and for the most points for a Heisman.
And Nick O'Leary, the tight end, I think that he could actually get really high in the draft because of
He's a
Jameis
prospect.
Winston.
Yeah,
He is
that is also
big.
that couldn't have been possible without Winston.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's really stepped it up this year. Travis Benjamin.
Yeah.
Travis Benjamin's been great.
All of their wide receivers and tight ends have really been playing outstanding this year.
Their
And I owe
defense.
that all to Jameis
Yeah.
Winston.
I think Winston will pull it out in the national championship.
Oh, I think he's going to go off the chart.
Because
A
of
big
what
thing
he's
to
been
focus
doing.
on is his game against Clemson.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a great showing. for him.
Off the charts.
Yeah.
I'll tell you my
What he's
prediction
been able to do.
next podcast. You'll have to wait to hear from me, but
Me too.
And I'll be back for the NFL draft, so
Yeah, he's also a draft analyst.
yeah, just wait.
All right, we'll see you next time. We'll be picking bowl games.
Jump around, jump up,